My family has been in Chillicothe since we've been in America. My generations of my family essentially built and settled this town, and I think that we continue to be neglected. See, both sides of my family come from a long poverty where they tried to pull us out. My dad was disabled growing up from an injury at work. My grandpa served in Vietnam and worked at Kenworth. My dad worked at Kenworth. My dad's sister worked at Kenworth for a while. Hold on, let me gather my thoughts here because this is all just coming out. My parents worked really hard to make sure that I had a roof over my head. I live in a home that's been managed to be kept over 3 generations and 6 different family units, and we still have 7 years left to pay, and it is 2 blocks away from a toxic plume that is going to potentially kill me, my family members, the families that I grew up down the block that are still generations in that house. It's just really hard to deal with knowing that I'm just looking at all the toils of my family to be left with drinking cancerous water and bathing in cancerous bath water. I think it's frankly really ridiculous. And to echo what Jamie said, would you guys care more if it was in the gentrified downtown where all the tourists and transplants get to come and play small town Rust Belt for a while? Because that's... Okay. Anyway, next free market is this Saturday. The theme is back to school. I'd like you guys to take a couple flyers. We're trying to get school supplies for kids and hygiene items as well. But unfortunately, the free market does not offer chemo treatment or small caskets.
William Corzine again, 100 Gables Orchard Drive, Chillicothe. I wanted to bring up, in light of what's been said about the toxic plume, I wanted to remind everybody of something that took place in Pike County. And I think Council President may have a little bit more knowledge about this than me. But several years ago, there were hearings that involved radiation contamination from the Pike nuclear plant getting to the aquifer down there. And there were discussions about the Teays Valley Aquifer. For those of you who might not be familiar with that, that is the remnants of a large prehistoric river that essentially followed the same course as the Scioto. It was a lot bigger, but flowed north. And it always been told that it flowed underground, and that was the source of our water. So there was some concern in the city about the possibility of contamination of the pipe and getting into our water supply. But the point I want to make is this, and I don't remember whether the federal government said representatives from the Department of Energy, the Army Corps of Engineers, but regardless, there were 2 experts from the federal government who said that there was no such thing as the Teays Valley Aquifer. And they were quoted in the newspaper, and I never heard them say they were misquoted. That was to the great surprise of 2 OSU professors who were there testifying, talking about the Teays Valley Aquifer. So I agree, it's probably going to take some notification to our state and federal folks about what's going on here, but please don't check your skepticism at the door. If they tell you something that doesn't make any sense, call them on it, because this is potentially a threat to all of us. And they need to do something. My guess is it will be beyond the resources of the city to take care of. It's a shame that the current state of the law doesn't make the original owner liable for the life of that plume to clean it up. But that's not going to be the case apparently. But hope people speak to the fire over this one, because it's worth it. We can't risk the threats to our safety, both for us and our families. Thank you.
Here, Chillicothe, I just wanted to voice concern about the HowMet response, since they are wanting to do less than what the EPA has asked them to do. I do know that the power that you do hold is to subpoena Howmet here so we can ask them questions publicly. So I would ask if you're willing to do that.
Hi, I'm Mary Newman, 73 Glen Drive. I just want to say, I'm here because water is the life. And if we want to keep the life of this town, we better make sure the water is good. And we don't know, as citizens, we don't know where to go. We really don't have, we hear something, we know it's bad, we don't know what direction to go in. But I do know that, things have happened with water supplies in St. Flint. That's lasting. That will last for you and your children.
Well, my favorite people. I am AJ Tainer. I live at 81 North Payne, apartment 2B. The first thing I wanted to mention, which is off topic from everybody, is this Wednesday, the 13th, from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. at Roast Coffee is going to be the next Coffee with Councils event. Just want to make sure that everybody was aware of that, make sure the community is aware, just to come out, have coffee, get to chat with our council members, ask questions. Now that I've said that, at the last meeting, we were all told that there would be an announcement made about the plume, about Howmet and their plan to clean it up, and that you were going to tell us exactly what was being done to clean up the plume and to take care of it. Now granted, it was Feeney that said this and made this promise, and I understand he's not here today, but why is that? Howmet's plan is really not great. That plume is a hell of a lot greater of an issue than what I think anybody has said and admitted. It's way too close to our homes, no matter what end of town it's on. There's not enough being done to clean it up, and I understand that this is a bigger issue than what the city alone can handle, but y'all have more power than us. Whether you see it or not, whether it's a lot, I'm sure there's a lot more red tape than what we're imagining. But what happened to Moreno and Taylor and Yost and their promises? What happened to all the things that we have been told, when we're being told that you're going to take care of the community and take care of these issues? It's not happening. This plume is a greater issue than what any of us can see. What's the plan? What's the announcement? What's going on? Where is the communication about this? Because we're not hearing a lot about it. Thank you.